Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. If you enjoy chicken such as teriyaki chicken, orange chicken, or General Tao chicken, this video is designed for you. I have a friend and I will call him Jim for the purpose of this video. He loves orange chicken. And when he goes to, say, a Chinese buffet, that's all he's going to eat. He also realized that it is not good for him. So he asked me some time ago, could I show him how to make a version of orange chicken or General Tao chicken, but it's healthier. My wife and I eat chicken about once a week. But we usually use chicken as a condiment rather than as the main food ingredients in a dish. And most of the time, unless I have guests or I cook for my son, I normally do not use the seasoning to create the flavor that you will find in orange chicken, General Tao chicken, or teriyaki chicken. The reason was very simple, because in those type of seasoning, you use a lot of sugar and salt. And furthermore, in those type of chicken dishes that you find in Chinese restaurants, they are breaded. So when it put all of them together, they truly represent a very unhealthy approach to cook chicken. So when I try to figure out what is the way to help my friend to have a much healthier version of this chicken, I thought of several different approaches. These approaches are going to be quite different from how I would cook chicken for us. The first thing I decided to do is that I need to change the size of how I cut the chicken. In our cooking, I normally cut the chicken in much smaller pieces because that simply will go a little bit farther. But for people who want to mainly eat chicken because they love it so much, this will not be adequate. So the first thing I did is that I changed the size of the chicken. I cut them a little bit larger than what I normally do. In fact, I cut them about twice as large. I also decided in order for Jim to experience the same texture, or at least to some extent, as he finds in the Chinese restaurant, I'm going to bread the chicken very lightly with some cornstarch. This light breading will give him that sensation of that crispiness, but at the same time, it is much healthier. Since Jim told me that he loves jalapeno pepper as well as onion, I'm going to add some chopped jalapeno pepper and chopped onion to the dish. By this small addition, this definitely will make the dish more nutritional. So after I figured out the basic approach and did a few practice runs, I gave Jim a call and asked him to come over to my house, and I'm going to show him how to do this. We did some prepping together and cut up some chicken, and he quickly figured out how to do that. So for this demonstration, I'm going to use my Cuisine 14-inch stainless steel wok. As I normally do, I'm going to season the wok with my spot seasoning method. If you're not familiar with this method, you can take a look at this video. So I turn the stove setting to high and heat up the wok. I then add 2 tablespoons of canola oil to the wok, just enough to cover the bottom of the wok. Once the oil starts to smoke, I turn the heat to low and I let it to smoke for 15 seconds. After I add the chicken to the wok, I turn the heat back to high. I want the oil to be as hot as possible, so it will be in that temperature zone, which is where the Maillard reaction will take place in creating flavor molecules. I use my wok spatula to break up the chicken. As you can see, the cornstarch kind of stuck the chicken together. You probably noticed that the cornstarch also serves as a light breading. It causes browning of the chicken on its surface. In addition, in create this browning effect on the surface of chicken, the cornstarch also protect the chicken from the heat and keep the inside moist and tender. I next add the chopped jalapeno, and I keep the seed because my son wanted to be spicy. I next add about half cup of chopped onion. I cut them relatively small because this will be easier to cook. By this time, you can tell the chicken is almost done. So the final step of this cooking is that I'm going to season the chicken, and I'm going to season the dish with some hoisin sauce first, and then followed by some oyster sauce. After mixing it quickly to make sure everything is evenly mixed, I turn off the stove. The cooking is done. But in my case, I actually took the wok from the stove and put it onto the counter because I use a glass electric stove. So I told Jim the next step we're going to do is that we're going to do some flavor chasing because we're going to adjust the flavor to exactly how he likes them. At this point, it is much easier to do it away from the heat because we do not want to overcook the chicken. I simply let Jim to make the flavor adjustment himself. So after he tasted, he decided he would like to have a little bit more oyster sauce. Followed by that, he did another quick taste test. Then he decided that he would like it a little bit sweeter, so he added more sugar to the dish. And then he said that is exactly how he likes it. So we transfer the contents from the wok to the serving plate. We cook another vegetable, so together we sit down and had a very nice lunch. And that's one thing Jim really also like about cooking this dish is the cook time. It only takes about a little bit over 2.5 minutes to cook this dish. At lunch, Jim told me that with this efficiency, he probably would never go out and eat at the Chinese buffet anymore because he can cook this much quicker than for him to make his way to the restaurant. So in order for you to see the whole process in continuity, I'm going to compress this video and to show you the entire process from beginning to end. As you can see, the chicken cooked very quickly. Now, even though the pieces is larger than what I normally cut them up for, but the important part of this is the thickness of the chicken. If you cut the chicken thin, then it will cook rapidly. The size of the chicken turned out to be less important. Again, I want to emphasize this is a template, and you can modify this template in many different ways. For example, when you coat the chicken with cornstarch, you can actually add some seasoning to the cornstarch. This will change the flavor of the chicken. As I have shown you in other examples, in this case, you really do not need to add any other sauces to it. From that standpoint, it makes the chicken healthier. In this dish, I've shown you how I added jalapeno pepper as well as chopped onion, and you can easily substitute either one of them. For example, you can use garlic or use green scallions. One variation of this dish I really enjoy is that I will use frozen sweet corn. So as you can see, use this basic template, you can create many different variations. Before Jim left, I also showed Jim how to prep the chicken in advance. I told him as soon as I got the chicken back from the supermarket, I would slice them up to the size that I would preferred. In my case, I would then freeze the chicken in a Ziploc sandwich bag in 6-ounce portion. Before I close the Ziploc bag, I would press out as much air as possible so I can flatten the chicken and freeze them as flat as I can. Using this approach, I will be able to thaw out the chicken in a bowl of warm water or in the sink in less than 5 to 10 minutes. I told him this approach is what is known as my fast cooking system, which includes flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. This will give him tremendous flexibility in create the type of dish and flavor that he enjoys. A couple of weeks later, I got a call from Jim, and he told me that how much this approach has changed his life. The most important thing is that he feel like he's eating much healthier because he do not go to eat at those buffet anymore. Now he can make his own chicken. He actually end up eating less. On the other hand, he is much happier with what he eats because he can tailor the flavor exactly how he likes it. Jim has always been on a little bit heavy side, and he always want to lose some weight. And he told me that he is actually losing some weight without even trying. Personally, I really like the ending of this story because I was so glad that I could able to help out. Thank you for watching. If you find this information useful, please click the like icon below because this will help me to expand my audience base. I'm posting video regularly, usually about one each day. And if you'd like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.